Hey, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mary Ashley. I'm an executive coach to high capacity, high performing women, especially working moms who want to be present at home and succeed at work, and not just survive both, but do both really, really well. Before we jump into today's episode, let's zoom out for a second, because in the last few episodes, we've been naming some of the very real patterns that high capacity women like you are living in every day. We started by calling out what actually is going on behind the scenes, behind all of the exhaustion. You've been running a full, demanding, meaningful life without an operating system, without a blueprint, without structure, without clarity on what matters most to you, which leads you to your worth defaulting to your performance. You start believing that the faster you move and the more you do, the more valuable you are, which leads you to letting your time default to reactivity, leaving your calendar wide open for everyone else's priorities and leaving you feeling behind before your day even begins, which leads to the sneakiest default of all. When your energy defaults to coping, when you are so depleted that the scroll, the snack, the glass of wine, the late night organizing, whatever your thing is, becomes the only way to calm down, quote, even though it's not actually restoring you. So if you've been thinking as you're listening, oh my gosh, that's me, you're not alone. And you're not broken. You're just missing the framework that makes all of this feel doable. And that is why today matters. Because everything from here forward is where we pivot from why this feels so hard to what you can actually do about it. If your identity is the sturdy frame that holds everything together, and I say that it is, then your mindset is the engine that makes it go. And if we want to get really precise, your beliefs are the fuel that powers that engine. And your mindset might just be the reason you feel like you are running a race with no finish line. If you are like most of the high capacity, high achieving women that I coach, you can check all the boxes. You are successful at work and just getting more successful. You love your family and value being a present, loving mom. You might even have a color-coded calendar or the skylight hanging on your wall, and yet you still go to bed feeling behind. Today, I'm going to show you why that keeps happening, what mindset really means, and how to start shifting yours this week. Plus, I will give you a simple mindset reframe you can use today. You scroll Instagram while your brain replays the meeting you should have spoken up in, or the email you forgot to send because you were doing 30 other things at the same time. You are tired of feeling reactive, like life is happening to you instead of you managing your life. And deep down, you start wondering, is this just how it is? Maybe I'm not actually cut out to do all of these things well. Maybe I do have to choose one: success at work or being a present, loving mom at home. And that, my friend, is a mindset problem. Here's today's psychology lesson, some cognitive behavioral therapy 101. You think a thought and it triggers a feeling. And that feeling is what drives you to act. So if you think to yourself, I'm not good at this, you'll probably feel anxious or discouraged or sad or angry. And because of those feelings, you then play small or avoid trying at all, or try to be productive doing a bunch of things that don't actually matter. But if you capture that thought, that I'm not good at this thought, you wrangle it and you reframe it to, I haven't done this yet, but I can learn. That thought sparks hope, curiosity, maybe even excitement. And that makes you way more likely to act and act confidently and in a way that then reinforces this fact that you've never done this before, but you can learn. That is why your mindset matters more than your motivation. Motivation fades. And for us women, it fades like every month, right? At least once. There's about a week each month when I'm motivated to move from my bed and then to my couch and then to my pantry and back. But when the motivation fades, your mindset sustains. There's a psychologist named Carol Dweck, and she is who coined the terms growth mindset and fixed mindset. Her research found that kids who were praised for working hard tried longer, solved harder problems, and improved faster than kids who were just praised for being smart. I'm going to say that again. Kids who were given a problem to solve were better at solving that problem after they had thought that they were a hard worker versus the kids who were told how smart they were. They did not even try when facing hard problems. Why? Because when you are used to being called the smart one or the successful one, failure feels personal. It doesn't feel like an option. People with a fixed mindset would rather avoid the very challenges that would help them grow. They would rather protect the appearance of success than risk failure. And in doing that, they trade progress for perfection. Isn't that funny? That people with a fixed mindset would rather be seen as successful than do the things and fail, potentially, that it takes to actually become successful. However, when you are a hard worker, when you are praised for working hard, failure feels different. It's not something to hide from. It's a clue. It's data. It's a chance to try something, to learn, to adjust, and then try again. And the same thing happens for us in adulthood. People with a fixed mindset spend their days trying not to look like they're failing. People with a growth mindset spend their days learning from the times they do. Believing that you can grow is what psychologist Albert Bandura calls self-efficacy. And it's the belief that your actions can make a difference. And that belief changes everything. Think about the most successful people in any area of life. Think about Michael Jordan, Michelangelo, Taylor Swift. Think about the people who are the most successful in whatever area that they are a success in. Yes, they have a natural inclination, I'm sure, for that craft, but I would bet you the thing that sets them apart is solely their belief that they can get better and that they can continue to get better. There's not a ceiling that their talent or being able to get better could hit. That is the difference. Inside the aligned action framework, mindset is the engine that moves your identity from theory to reality. Because here's the truth. You can have the clearest vision, you can have the prettiest planner, and the best systems, which we build inside the aligned action framework. But if deep down you don't actually believe that change is possible, you'll never even start the engine. Every part of your life, the way you lead your team, the way you parent your kids, the way you manage your time, flows from what you believe about yourself. If your belief is, I am not good at this, I will never figure this out, you'll prove yourself right. If your belief is, I can learn to figure this out, you'll prove that right too. Your brain takes you at your word. It believes what you tell it. So if you say, I'm a dum-dum and I'll never do this, your brain will say, got it, you're a dum-dum and you'll never do this. And if you tell your brain, it's okay to make mistakes, I will figure this out. This is really important to me. Your brain will say, got it, we'll figure this out. This is really important to us. That is the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. I know this may be hard to believe, but I am not a scientist nor a neuroscientist, but I am a coach who loves when empirical, data-driven science and scripture, biblical truth, say the same thing. Romans 12 in the New Testament tells us, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Neuroscience calls that neuroplasticity, which is your brain's literal ability to rewire itself. There's a neuroscientist, Dr. Swart, who is the author of The Source, one of my favorite books on this, and she explains how our thoughts and attention can physically reshape our brain over time. I have seen firsthand, I have experienced firsthand how rewiring your thoughts renews, rewires your life. God designed your brain to change, to grow, to renew. So when you take every thought captive, I cannot do this, and you replace it with biblical truth, I can actually do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You're not just doing scripture memorization, even though it's good and we recommend it. You are literally partnering with how God designed your brain to work. I want you to notice your thoughts. How do you start shifting your mindset? You start noticing the thoughts that you think. So many of us are undisciplined with the thoughts that we think. Our words are so powerful. They have so much power. The words that we speak and the thoughts that we think give so much weight to what our life actually looks like. So I want you to notice the thoughts that you think. Catch them before they run wild. Pay attention to what plays on repeat when you are stressed or you are tired or overstimulated. I read somewhere that we do not think a lot of unique thoughts. So a lot of the thoughts that we think every day are the same ones over and over again. And when we have these stories that we tell ourselves repeatedly, that is going to influence the way our lives actually look. So I want you to notice the thoughts. I want you to kind of pick one. And then I want you to ask yourself, who told me that? When you think I am failing as a mom or I'm not leadership material, pause and ask yourself, who told you that? We are teaching our kids right now, they're 6, 4, and 4 months. So mainly the 4 and the 6-year-old. We're teaching them our words and our thoughts have a lot of power. And when is it okay to say something or not say something? We are teaching them right now to filter their thoughts as much as possible for little people without impulse control. But we're teaching them this filter of, one, is it true? Bakers tell the truth. So I'm not going to say anything that's not true. Is it kind? I'm not going to say anything unkind on purpose. If I can't be kind, I'm going to be quiet. Is it helpful? Okay, it might be true and it may be kind, but is it actually helpful? So I want you to apply the same filter to your thoughts. Who told you that? Is it true? Is it kind? Is it helpful? And then I want you to reframe it. I want you to swap. I've never done that before. I'm not good at this. Well, I'm not good at this yet. A small word, a big shift. And then I want you to practice it daily because mindset work, unfortunately, is not one and done. It is a daily renewal. It is a daily taking your thoughts captive and making them obedient to Christ. It is something that you have to practice every single day, just like any other muscle in your body. If your identity is the chassis of your car, I had to look it up. Just go with me here. The chassis is the foundation of the car. It influences how the rest of the car will be built and the kind of gizmos and gadgets that go on it. So your identity is the chassis of the car. Let's call it a Tahoe or, I don't know, an Expedition Max. And whether you're a black SUV mom or a white SUV mom, that's between you and God. I'm a black SUV mom. I think that tells you all you need to know about me. If you know, you know. If your identity is the chassis, your mindset is the engine and your beliefs are the fuel, you're the driver. You cannot build an aligned life on a fixed mindset. You cannot lead your team, your family, or yourself with thoughts that keep you small. The women that I coach are successful because they are willing to renew their minds, build new rhythms, and take aligned action, one thought, one decision, one day at a time. So this week, I want you to notice your thoughts. Catch one lie or one unkind, unhelpful thought, and then reframe it and see what shifts when you start thinking like the woman you are becoming. If this hits home and you are ready to go deeper, this is exactly the kind of work we do inside the Aligned Action Framework. It's my signature coaching program, and we are opening spots now for 2026. It is not hustle culture. It is not another planner. It is a proven operating system for your life, rooted in identity, powered by mindset and aligned with what actually matters to you. You can apply through the link in the bio or down below. You do not need a new life. You need a new lens, and it starts with your mindset. If you love today's conversation, I would love for you to share this with a friend who might need to renew her mindset as well. And of course, would love for you to leave a 5-star review so that this podcast can get to the ears that need to hear it. See you soon.